Hi everyone, and welcome to my first video since I moved to Edinburgh. Last time I turned the camera on, I was still living back down south, getting ready for my move up here for my master's course. And yeah, it's now 21st of September. I've been here just about a week and a half now. Last week was basically getting settled in, getting ready, getting used to the city and sorting out the new flat. And this week is the week that I start lectures. So I said I was going to keep making videos over the course of the year to document my Masters in Japanese Society and Culture at the University of Edinburgh. And as I've now been to my first couple of lectures, I thought I'd put the camera on and give you all a little bit of an update. So this is week one. Last week was week 0. For any of you who have been to university or just started university will know that that's Freshers Week, where everyone gets settled in, all the freshers get ridiculously drunk, go out clubbing, blah 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 blah. All the stuff that I did back when I was 18. Wasn't massively gutted to miss out on that this time round. But week one is when basically everything really kicks off. All your lectures begin, the real work starts here. It's not so much of a steep learning curve at undergraduate level because you've got 3 or 4 years ahead of you. I certainly didn't really get serious about my degree until about 18 months in. But at master's level, you've really got to hit the ground running. And that's sort of what I've realised over the last couple of days. Basically in our first week, the only lectures we attend are for a module called Research Skills, which basically teaches you how to be a postgraduate. Obviously you do research and things at undergraduate, but now once you reach the postgraduate level, master's level, PhD, it's much more on you. It's all about your own independent work and producing your own sort of scholarly essays. And as my lecturer yesterday put it, when you're an undergraduate, you're basically responding to questions, sort of almost demonstrating your ability to learn. It's almost, in a way, an extension of high school and the compulsory education up to that point. And it's not really a great deal about your own ability to create original work. And at master's level, and much more so at PhD level, it's really about sort of striking out on your own and trying to write something original and interesting and really be able to even teach your lecturers new things about certain areas of the subject that they might already be specialists in. So we've started doing research skills, learning how to use databases, learning how to use the library, blah 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 blah. Not very exciting from the outside, but incredibly useful skills to have going forward for the rest of the year. Oh, excuse me. The other thing that I have done already, which was actually at the end of last week, at the end of week 0, was to go and meet my personal tutor, who is the member of staff, member of faculty who will supervise my course over the rest of the year. And the biggest thing that struck home in that meeting was the fact that he basically said, start thinking about your dissertation in the next few weeks, get thinking about it. When I applied, coming in, it feels like a dissertation would be months and months and months away. That's the end. You don't start writing your dissertation till April. I'm not going to have to think about that yet. Get settled, start my classes, do some reading, actually go and do my optional courses and see where my interests take me. I did have a vague outline coming in, which is lucky, but it's really hit home how soon we have to start thinking about the end of our course, the 15,000 word dissertation that this all culminates in. So basically the last few days I've been really thinking about that, and I came into this course because I'm really interested in Japanese politics, East Asian relations, and really basically the direction that Japan is heading in politically, especially vis-a-vis its closest neighbours, China, Korea, Southeast Asian countries. So even though I don't have a specific title in mind, I haven't really formulated the real meat of the dissertation in my mind, I know that's sort of the area that I want to go in. I'd really like to look at Article 9. I've made at least one video on Article 9 before. It was actually a few years ago now, it's probably 3 years ago. I've done a video recently as well about potential changes to the Constitution. And to be honest, that video, you can feel free to go find it on my channel. There's a video probably about 2013, I'd imagine, with my opinions on Article 9 and basically explaining it, which probably requires some fairly hefty revision, as that was a long time ago and I really didn't know nearly as much as I thought I knew about the subject back then. But I'm going to leave it up. I think it'd be useful for me to look back on it in a year's time or however long and sort of see just how far I've progressed over this year in my understanding of that sort of thing. So that's been the first few days, that's been the first few lectures, my first meetings, and it's got me excited again. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to get back into academia properly. I would have loved to have done a master's straight out of undergraduate. I'm really glad I didn't now, because I don't think I would have taken it as seriously as I could have. I think to an extent it would have just been an excuse to prolong the period of time before I had to go and face the real world, if you will. And I'm glad I went away for 2.5, 3 years, worked, and really got to figure out what it was that I wanted to do and what it was that I wanted to study. So now, just looking forward to getting stuck in, really. We've already got our readings, we've got some of our essay questions. It's only going to be a few weeks before I have to start submitting my first assignments. Most of them are fairly short, book reviews, things like that, but it all begins now. And it really struck home over the last few days just how much work is going to evolve. I know I need to get a part-time job somewhere down the line to sort of supplement the savings that I have, that I made to try and do this course. But at the moment, it's a bit daunting trying to figure out where I'm going to fit that in. It sounds like I'm going to be pretty much chained to a desk for about 90 hours a week. And I hope some people are watching this video because they're thinking about doing a master's, and I don't want to say anything to put people off because it sounds unmanageable, because it's not. But I do think that it's one of these things that you need to be sure about doing. If you're coming to the end of an undergraduate degree and you're on the fence about whether to do a master's, I really would recommend taking a little bit of time out, if you're not 100% sure, going and working for a year or so, build some other skills, try some other things, and really think about what it is that you want to do. And if you find in a year's time you're still desperate to get back into academia and do this, then do it. Jump straight back in. That's what I've done. I mean, I've taken a couple of years out, 2-3 years out, but it's just helped me realise that this is really what I want to do, and it put me in a better position to be able to give my all. So I've got a few more research skills modules this week. Going to go to those, find out, just really learn how to be as well prepared a master's student as I possibly can be going forward. And then we really get stuck into the meat of it next week, when my core modules and optional modules begin. East Asian relations, things like Japanese religions I'm taking. I might go through and sort of discuss in another video the modules that I'm taking, maybe perhaps once I've done a week or two and I'm getting into them a bit. But I'm looking forward to that, and that's where it all begins. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Basically, more of an update than anything. Just to say that I'm here and it started and I'm enjoying it so far. Early days, but I'm enjoying it so far. Talk to me again in a year's time when 10 months time when I'm sweating over a dissertation, desperately trying to get 15,000 words typed up before a deadline, it might be a whole different story, but for now it's really good. I am gonna make a few more videos, I think over this coming week before the workload gets too heavy to do particularly editing intensive videos, but I really want to do a couple of textbook reviews. They've always been really popular, and I've got a few textbooks sitting on my shelf that I've picked up lately that I want to do, and I know I've said this a few times, but I am definitely going to get it done. So please tune back in for those if you're interested. If not, I'll see you in the next update about my masters. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you soon, guys.